Hey, welcome back to another episode of From the Trenches. Today's topic is going to be why I quit letting work run my life and a few key takeaways that you can use to build total control, flexibility, and freedom in your schedule if you want to be able to spend more time with family or just do whatever you want to do. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you guys are new to this show, what we do here on From the Trenches is a couple key things. First off, if you don't know me, my name's Sam. I went from a bunch of different jobs that I hated, feeling stuck and frustrated, to finally being able to find my dream thing and breaking into high ticket sales, which allowed me to travel the world, scale a company to $1 million a year. Well, I started a company that scaled to $2 million a year. Now I mentor people to build their own freedom of time and money. So that's exactly what I do on this channel, and then also some of my private coaching. So diving in here, agenda-wise, this is what we normally do on From the Trenches. Updates, questions, today's topic. Today I'm going to go a little bit off script. I want to just kind of dive in and just go right into a lesson that has been both real and valuable to me, a great reminder right now, and then also some key things that I think will be really helpful for you, no matter if you're doing a job, if you're selling something high ticket already, or whether you are trying to build a business. So first off, when I talk about updates, right, it's what I'm working on, what I'm learning. The reason I do this kind of like over the shoulder learning is because this is what's been most valuable for me in learning from some of my mentors. So I want to share some of that with you today. So last couple weeks, we'll just back up. I launched a new marketing funnel and was doing a new sales process. And if you guys had been following some of the previous ones, made some changes with the company, and basically I'm running most of the operations by myself. I do have an assistant that helps with a few scheduling things and admin stuff, but I'm doing all the client interaction, I'm doing all the sales, I'm doing all the marketing, and it's a lot. But I committed to doing a blitz. So last like 5-7 weeks I've been doing a full-on sprint, and it's been pretty intense, right? I'm not saying I'm the hardest worker in the world. Maybe Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or whatever, some of those guys probably work harder, but it's been pretty intense. It's been like 4:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. devotion, or like 5 a.m. ish devotions, short break with Nicole and Haven at 4:15 for like an hour and a half, and then working till 9 or 10 for the last like 6 weeks. So it's been pretty intense. And also, in addition to that, I'm doing a lot of different functions, a lot of different roles. So all this being said, I was getting to the point where I was pushing pretty intensely, and I noticed just within the last couple of days that I was starting to feel like I'm coming up against a little bit of burnout. I had a client who was like, Sam, you look tired. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not tired. I've only been doing 18-hour days, 20-hour days, whatever. Not quite. But so it's important to push, but it's also important to have that awareness and reset a little bit. So that's what I've been learning and been reminded of, is like, okay, right now, I was hoping that to be able to do the sprint, to do the blitz for like 6-8 weeks, or 7 or 8 weeks, but I think I might be at like 6, and I'm not quite as far into the sprint as I want to be. I haven't made it as far as I want to be, so there's definitely a sense of like shame and anger and frustration around like, okay, I'm not performing as well as I wanted to. I haven't done as many deals or as much volume as I've wanted to in these last, the sprint. But I'm also recognizing like I'm getting towards the max of my capacity for myself personally, and then also the family. Like, it's been taking a huge toll on Nicole and Haven, me working these hours, right? And then because if I'm working overtime, she's working overtime, right? So starting to see the limitations of what do you do in this situation? Well, I want to let you know what I'm doing and what I'm being reminded of, these things that I go back to help me stay in control of my time, right? So that I can make a lot of money, be successful, impact a lot of people, and still have the freedom and flexibility to spend time with family and enjoy life on my own terms. I hope this isn't glitching out for you. It's like glitching on my screen a little bit. But so a couple things that I've been reminded of and things that I'm implementing right now to fix this and to reset a little bit. So there's two truths, and this is something I'm reminded of is a lot of times we think that it's like one thing or the other, right? It's either like, oh, I have to grind nonstop, or I have to like chill and hang out or whatever, right? But both things are true at the same time. And yes, you may have certain deadlines. I have certain deadlines. I have certain things that I need to meet to make sure the business stays on track and like we do the numbers we need to do to whatever. However, at the same time, I can 100% stop and everything will be fine, right? But what happens is we get caught in this lie of like, oh, we have to do these numbers, we have to make this. Like if I stop for a second, if I stop for a minute, if I stop for a day or a week or whatever, I'm gonna like lose everything, right? So yes, you have to push hard and you have to put in the work, but it also doesn't matter at all. It's like you could do nothing today and like macro big picture, like nothing's really gonna change, right? You can stop at any point. You don't have to keep doing what you've been doing. But we get when we start taking action, which a lot of people struggle to take action. So this is on the flip side of that. When you are taking action, when you are someone who's a hard worker, who's a hustler, who's putting in a lot of hours and making progress, you have to get to this point where you reset, you pull back to rethink, to realign, to rest, reset, so that you can move forward. Is this making sense? Is this home? Maybe I'm the only one that deals with this. But if this is hitting home with you, drop a like on this video below. So you want to move in the opposite spirit to reset and gain control. So I learned this from one of my mentors at our church, and this is like he was talking about this in the spiritual sense, but it also like applies to spiritual, emotional, and then like practical time management and like controlling your time. So when you are feeling like, because what happens is you get in this grind mode and you're like, okay, there's something I had to get in gear. I had to make something happen to hit certain income goal or revenue goal or whatever, which is true and valid, right? Like you have to work, you have to push and get that momentum going, right? So you do that and then you're like full throttle, whatever, running full steam ahead. But then it's like you get to this point where you're like redlining or the engine's like about to explode or whatever. And what the lie is, what the enemy will want to keep you trapped in, will keep you stuck, redlining full throttle until your engine just explodes, is the lie is that you can't stop. If you stop, you'll die, you'll lose everything, whatever, right? But that's the lie that we get caught in, and you have to move in the opposite spirit. So when you feel like, oh, I'm forced to keep going, like I have to push this, I have to hit these numbers, I have to whatever, you're getting caught in that lie, right? And what you want to do to reset and gain control is to move in the opposite spirit. So you want to do the opposite of what you're feeling forced to do. So if you're feeling like I have to grind, I have to push, whatever, then you want to be like, no, I reject that. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop. I'm going to reset. I'm going to take a day, or maybe if it's like, it depends on the spectrum of the picture, right? If it's like within the day, it's like, no, I don't have to. I'm going to take 1 hour and I'm going to reset and I'm going to rest. And you give yourself permission for a specific set time to reset, to gain clarity. And that puts you in control of your time rather than being a slave to your time and all the craziness, busyness, chaos, whatever around you. And then that could also be for a day. No, I'm going to reset. I'm going to take this day. I'm going to stop and I'm going to reset, whatever. Or I'm going to take the week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever. When you give yourself permission and you specify the time period, it helps you get rid of like shame and guilt of like, oh, I need to be working, and helps you just really zone in and be present and get what you need to get from that time. Right. Again, I hope this is clicking home with you. This is some more maybe advanced stuff. I don't know, depending on how much you've done. And macro and micro seasons. So basically macro just means big picture. Micro just means small picture. So like big picture vision, small picture details. So big picture season versus small picture season. So you may be like you may be in a big picture like strapped time, which is like maybe you're in debt, or like your your business isn't going well, or like whatever. If you're in a macro season of like like grind, like I have to really double down and like make stuff happen, that's fine. But you also have to recognize your micro season, right? So maybe like for me, if my big picture season is like, hey, I'm doing like a whole business revamp, my macro season, my big picture season is like, yes, I have to push, I have to redo the marketing and like, update things and whatever, bring in new clients, all the new things that I'm doing. Yes, that is valid and true. But the micro season is like reset, um, clarify, dial in the messaging, whatever, right? So just know, like, for you specifically, what I would ask you is like, what is your macro season right now, and what is your micro season? Like, what do you need to do in this moment? If you're on the flip side where you haven't been taking action, you haven't been pushing full throttle, then it's like, cool, well, like that's what you probably should be doing. But if you have been pushing full season, if you've been caught in that lie, if you haven't been pushing full throttle and you've been caught in that lie of like, I have to keep going or I'm gonna die, everything bad's gonna happen, whatever, then it's like that's a lie that's perpetuating your burnout, your taking time from family, or just even not being effective. Like what I've seen is like as I've reached towards the end of that, like I'm starting to burn out, is like I'm working way more hours, but I'm less effective. My messaging isn't as clear. My words and thoughts and work is not as effective and good. So you have to, yeah, be aware of those seasons. Next thing is to listen to your screech indicators. Where for me, it's like one of the things I pay attention to is like, hey, how do you know when you're redlining, right? How do you know when you're getting towards the end of that push, that sprint, that like go time? Is like what things start to make noise, right? If you're familiar with cars, if you ever heard a car like they come up the stoplight and they're like whatever, that like super loud annoying screech. If you're a mechanic, you know exactly what that is. But if you don't know cars, basically what that is called a screech indicator on the brakes, and they build it into the design of the brakes so that when the brake pad starts to wear down super thin, it starts to hit the brake starts to hit that little whatever it is that makes a screech. So it lets you know that your brakes are worn thin and like you're about to not have brakes anymore, right? So that's what a screech indicator is. It's letting you know like, hey, warning, warning, something like this needs addressed, this needs fixed. So you have to pay attention to the screech indicators in your life when it's time to flip the micro season, right? Okay, even macro, I'm in a big picture, I got to grind, I have to push, I'm like, I want to, I need to do certain things. But when is it time to switch those seasons, even within the micro? Like, hey, when are things getting loud? So maybe this is like the status of your relationship. Maybe this is your physical health and energy or whatever, right? Like for me, obviously it's put a lot of strain on Nicole and I, so like we're starting to feel that tension wise in the relationship, more fights, more whatever, blah blah. And like we've gotten to the place where we know how to handle it and work through it, but like it's still showing up. You can still hear those screech indicators. And like on the flip side, it would be maybe it's the finances. Maybe you need a screech indicator like, hey, the finances are bad. We got to hammer down on the budget. We got to double down. Like we got to work more. We got to work smarter. So what are your screech indicators, and what are they telling you specifically in your life right now of like, what do I need to do to switch to get back control of my time, my finances, whatever, right? Tracking. Cool. So this next part is the work-life balance lie. There will be some things that'll resonate with you in this, but like a lot of people hear that like, oh, you want to have work-life balance. And there's a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller that goes much deeper into this. So if you want to check it out, highly recommend it. I don't get paid anything to promote his book, but really good book. And basically it talks about the work-life balance lie. And basically I'll give you the short version just to like save you time, is basically everything balances everything crappy. So what they tell you is like, you want a perfectly balanced life. when you have like a little bit of work and a little bit of family time and like maybe a little bit of church or a little bit of like social activities, and basically it's all balanced, right? It's like equal on all fronts. But what happens in this scenario is you don't really have exponential or like incredible results at anything. It's like you never really have that good of a family life. You never really have that good of like a work life. You never really do that much at church. You never really go on fun trips because like everything, you're just keeping it all balanced. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm keeping everything together. But you're constantly running around trying to like, you're running over here, trying to make this good, running over here, trying to make this good. And like, you can't ever be effective or have exponential results or amazing results, incredible results in any of these categories. So you don't want to think about your time and your work life as balance. You want to think about it as tension. And tension is, I'm going to go full screen here so you can see this dandy rubber band. Tension is different, right? So instead of balance, I'm trying to like keep everything equal all the time. Tension is pulling in one direction really hard, out of balance for a season to get exponential results in that thing, and then snapping back and going in the opposite direction. Does that make sense? So if this is work and this is family time, right? A season of like crazy out of balance work, sprints, blitzes, whatever, to like really make massive progress and results in work, and then snapping back and like doing nothing, right? Going to the zoo in the middle of the day, right, with your kids, or like seeing your aging parents, you know, in the middle of the week, right? But basically, it's tension. So what is pulling and what is lagging, and basically controlling that tension allows you to get massive results and progress or momentum in one direction, rather than trying to run around and always keep everything perfectly balanced, equal all the time. Right? You'll have much better results and you'll enjoy it more. Because basically what I was just talking about, is you feel crappy because you're never getting 100% in, you're never going 100% all in to anything. You're trying to like keep everything perfectly equal all the time. And when you're at home, you're stressing about, work stuff because you're trying to keep work stuff perfect. And when you're at work, you're stressing about family stuff, because again, you're trying to keep it all balanced. Instead, you want to be obsessively present. Like when you're at work, you want to be obsessively present with work. Do not disturb, locked in, working. When you're at home, you want to be obsessively present with your family, right? On do not disturb, not taking calls, not taking texts, whatever. Because like that time is for that specific thing. Last thing I want to hit on is I don't have any time is a lie, right? I don't have enough time. I'm running out of time. There's never enough time in the day. It's another lie that perpetuates you to be constantly the victim of time versus the creator of time or the controller of time. You tracking? So, and this is a great there's another book on this specifically called The Big Leap by, I'm forgetting the author's name, but if you look it up, it's like a fish jumping in a bowl. I think it's Gary something. I don't know. But it's called The Big Leap. And basically we are not the victims of time. We are the controller and the creator of time, right? So right now in this moment, if you're watching this video, you are making time to watch this video. I'm making time out of my day when there's a million other things I could be doing. I'm making time to slow down, to stop, and to make this video for you right now. You're welcome, by the way, right? But any present moment that we're in, you are making time to do the thing that you're doing. So like if you come home from work and you go on your phone, right, or you go on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you are making time to do those, to scroll, right? If you're like, it's 9 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever time you go to work, and you're like rushing around, getting out the door, and you're like fighting traffic, whatever you're doing, you're making time to go to work, right? Because if like, hey, if I don't make time to go to work, then I'm not gonna have income or whatever, right? So whatever you're doing, oh, surprise, there's no more. That was the last one. I'm just kidding. whatever you're making time to do right now in this present moment is what's going to make a difference, is what's going to matter. So it's not a matter of I don't have enough time. It's I'm not working on the right things. I'm not prioritizing the right things. Because if you were working on the right things, then progress would be getting made, right? So you have time to do whatever you want to do. You just have to decide and cut off the other things. The hard part is not having enough time. The hard part is deciding what we're not going to do, what we're going to cut out. Steve Jobs said that focus is not saying yes to one thing. Focus is saying no to the 1,000 other things that you could be doing, right? Right now, I could be doing marketing. I could be doing sales. I could be talking to people in the DMs. I could be whatever. There's a million different things. But I'm doing this one thing. So ask yourself that. What is most important right now? And what should I, that's the hard part, is deciding. You have time. We just need to make time for what's most important. And what's your macro season? What's your micro season? And put your time towards that. So hope this is valuable. Hope this is helpful. These are some things that I've been learning. If you guys got some value from this, drop a like, subscribe, share it with a friend. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one.